All right, so I'm here today with Blake. We're going to talk about hiring out for that first job. So we got at KWI right now, we've got 93% verified, third-party verified job placement rate. What that means is we've got a company that calls behind us, calls those companies and contractors and verifies that all those students are going to work. So that's a big thing for us. We can tell you we have 100% job placement like some places do, and we feel like we have dang near 100%, but some students don't break out for whatever reason. Right now you got a lot of COVID checks coming down the pipe, so a lot of people sitting on the couch maybe. But we are 93% third-party verified. Blake, hiring out for that first job, there's dozens of ways to do it, I guess, but what would you recommend?
If there's a dozen ways to do it, I'd be doing a dozen.
There you go.
Hit every avenue that you possibly could. Every phone call you can call them. If there's places close to home, hit them up. I wouldn't sit around waiting on that one job that you really wanted breaking out, because right now you're not making any money.
Yeah.
You just graduated the welding school and you're waiting on that one job that said they got a spot, but they'll give you a call. No, I'd be calling everybody else, finding that first job.
Yeah, occasionally we have some students that make that mistake. You know, we're talking to, in month 5, we really start talking heavy about, hey, you need to be applying, you need to be calling out, getting that resume out there. And some cats will tell us, right, that no, I've got this one job, the project is going to launch 3 weeks after I graduate. I'm going to go home, I'm going to take some time, and then and those projects might fall through, or that guy may not call them back. So KWI recommends, man, if you got a dozen eggs, you put them in a dozen different baskets. So by all means, like you said, if you got a local fab shop and can get in, then do that. And if you're waiting on that project, be working while you're waiting. Because if you're sitting on the couch, you're making 0 and 0. And so 15 and no per diem, or 25 and 80 is much better than 0 and 0. So some ways that we train our guys. We spend about a week or two in employability skills. We talk to those guys. We build resumes. We make fake phone calls. Blake, how do you recommend, again, some of the different ways of getting those jobs lined out?
Kind of expect what they're going to ask of you if you are making those phone calls, because it's always better not to be all the time, right, while you're trying to answer these questions.
So you're making the phone call. We find the job boards. We are in the industrial projects report. Companies and contractors call us often. We have a Remind app that we pump out jobs to. When a contractor calls and says, hey, we need 6, hey, we need 10, we're hiring out 50. We send those numbers, companies and contractors, out to all of our former Kentucky Welding Institute graduates and help them get those jobs. But it's important to have that resume polished up, that last job at the top of that experience list, all your certifications tight knit. Be willing to make phone calls, pump profiles to those Indeed or company job sites, and again, anything and everything. Now, those first jobs, we just told you that take anything right out the gate. I mean, run and gun. If it's 25 and 75, go to work. Don't wait on 36 and 120. If it's 25 and 75, go to work. Now, but if they get there, Blake, and then their boy calls and they're on a pipe job making 36 and 80, they want to drag and go run with their boy. What do you recommend?
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Not do it. You're gonna start off a bad habit that's hard to get out of.
Yeah.
Once you start dragging, it's just so easy to drag the next one, but eventually you're not gonna have another job to drag because your name's gonna follow you. A lot of these people, they always work together through different companies, and they're gonna know each other. They're gonna ask questions. Hey, you know this guy? You know this guy? And they ain't gonna hire you because they're gonna find out about you real quick.
Yeah, so KWI, we recommend whatever that first job is, you ride that pony to the ground. Stick with it. Your name is much more important than a couple extra dollars on the paycheck. Get your name out there, make sure it's tight, and let people know, and treat everybody good. Because Blake, I'm sure it's happened to you, the fitter you're working with is the foreman on your next job. So you treat him like crap and watch what happens come next job.
Your first day hiring in, your helper, he may have been working there for 4 or 5 years. So he's in good with that company, and you ain't no higher on the totem pole than he is.
Yeah.
So treat everybody with respect. And work hard. I mean, even if you aren't welding, the welding's eventually going to end at some point eventually, and they're going to need somebody to paint, push a broom, clean up. You're going to be making welder pay pushing a broom. So like Bobby's saying, run that job to the ground, make a good name for yourself starting right out the gate, and it'll follow you wherever you go.
All right, so Kenny, we're going to help you. We're going to teach you how to do all these things, how to find all those jobs, how to cast that net as wide as you can, and get your name hot in the